how do I make money laying on a bed doing nothing? It's not about the numerology, it's about the law of attraction. Can you enter certain states, linger in the feeling for a few weeks until you take it into the unconscious dream world? And you guys don't think for months in Canada, a month and a half, every single day I meditated to make money while girls are cuddling me. In my meditations, there wouldn't be a camera. It would be just a bunch of, I would see other faces and But now, with the camera, it makes more sense. Now it makes more sense. No, it's not birthdays. Like, chat, if I could snap my fingers and forget all about numerology, but keep what I know about the law of attraction and the mystery of Golgotha, if I can keep that, I don't need the other shit. Zherka, how do you get hot girls? I go in a deep meditative trance-like state where I imagine them laughing at my jokes, and I stay in that state with some music and go for a walk for an hour until I cover every angle of the feeling. I don't know what the joke is, I don't know the vocabulary, I don't know the girls, the faces change, it's blurry, but then sometimes the images become clear. And then after I do this for, let's say, 7 days in a row, I will go to a club. You do this at night or morning. Obviously, the law of attraction is throughout the whole day, but the most important part of learning the alchemy of changing your state of mind, the mysteries of Golgotha, ancient mystery school practices, the real Christian mysteries. Obviously, when it says in the Song of Solomon, it says you take it to your mother's chamber, meaning to bed, to your unconscious chamber. They had different words back then for the psyche, which means soul too, right? Mind is soul. Yeah. So obviously before bed, what do you think? I wake up in the morning and I've done that too, but it's not that important. The most important is you go to bed right. Zherka, what's the Jungian view of mental resistance when doing work, for example? Yeah, it's simple. If you've noticed, doing the same thing over and over again is giving you a bad result, you have to stop and let it go. That means whatever you're obsessed with, let's say you want big biceps, you have to stop and let it go. And now the tension's gone. You don't need big biceps. You're just going to go to the gym and train. Now the big biceps are going to come. But when you need and obsess over it, the obsession has to spawn in a creative way. So if you want big muscular body in the gym, it has to spawn when you're eating food that you're thinking about it. When you're playing video games, you're thinking of bigger biceps. It has to spawn everywhere. If it only spawns in the gym, like your obsession with big biceps is when you're at the gym, usually you don't go that hard at the gym. So if you're going to be consumed, like we don't have ideas have us. But if an idea is very specific, it destroys your life. You spin your tires. That's why I trip up my life so hard with the 7 months alone, and then now there's girls laying down on me and stuff. If I feel resistance, I feel like there's a valve of money. I'm making more money, and then it slows down, and there's resistance, and then I let go, because it means I've been holding on to a need. When God punishes you if you hold on to a need, like if I was like him, where it's like I need this girl here right now, immediately she gets turned off. When you guys were with your girlfriend, right? The moment you love her and you go, I need this, I don't want anything to change, this is heaven, I don't want to go to real heaven, I want to just stay here, she breaks up with you that week. Why? Because the whole matrix is designed for your evolution. You're supposed to evolve. Meaning, if you say, I'm just cozy with my girlfriend in a high-paying job, I'm good right here, what you're saying is you're done evolving, right? And immediately she gets turned off, the whole matrix goes backwards. Now, I'm not saying to let go of the need, I'm saying to fulfill the need, right? Excuse me, not to fulfill the need, to fulfill the desire. So your desire is to have that girlfriend. How can you fulfill that desire of having her? By letting her go. You don't need her. As soon as spiritually you get that, you go, oh, the matrix changed. Wait, this is like a computer? wait, what the Zherka wasn't bullshitting? He wasn't just trying to sound mystical. It actually works. And then you never explain it to other humans because it's impossible to explain. So you end up your whole life winning and getting rich and getting all the girls smiling, but you never tell anyone how you're doing it. Why? Because it's impossible to explain. Like, you're seeing it through your eyes, I'm seeing it through mine. It's important. Yeah, but you can hear from my the pressure in my voice, right? That it's not. This isn't something that's like, oh, I saw it once or coincidence. I've been studying this since grade 12. If you read the Bible correct, this is how you're supposed to, let's say, forgive someone who's sinned. If I wronged her, let's say I robbed this girl, right? Let's say I stole, right? Like, let's say, let's say I was a bad guy, right? And I robbed her, right, Chad? And she becomes a good Christian, and she's like, I want to forgive John. Lord, I forgive John. She didn't do anything when she did that prayer. The Bible teaches that she has to use her imagination to imagine laughing with John. Now, when she imagines laughing with John, an image appears in her head. And now, she's less angry at me. And she forgives me in the imagination. And that imagination is used in the prayer. That is a fulfilled prayer. Those, you know how people talk about the prayer works and stuff? That's how they did it by accident. There's a science to that. I hate talking about this because I hate when people use prayer as kung fu. Like, I do prayers better than you. But the feeling types do prayers better. The more Aquarius, selfish types, they suck at prayers. That's why they hate God. Right? So this is in alchemy, it's called balancing, cooking with water. So you have genuine inspiration from God, a great idea, that's fire. You grab that idea and you cook it in feeling. So, I'm gonna be a big time YouTuber, fire. What would that feel like? Oh wow, I'm taking care of my friends and family. Holy shit, I'm so happy. I'm gonna linger in this feeling. This feeling has so much more energy. I think I'm gonna start a channel. Why am I working? I didn't even have Red Bull. Now you're energized. That is changing states. When you change your state, you change your outcome, which changes your income, and you become rich. That's why it's so sad when people, like in UFC, they'll say, I miss the old, Connor. I miss the old this guy, because they change states. And then they hope that sometimes they want to go back into a state, but the soul has to keep evolving. You cannot go back into a state. You can't go backwards. So if they were a badass in the past, they can't go back to being badass. They have to be a new badass of something new. You have to just, it has to always go forward. The wheel has to turn. You know how YouTube channels get all those views on manifestation, law of attraction? They're all scams. They're all correct, so they're not scamming, but they don't have the vocabulary to explain it to Chad, so you just bought a book for no reason, right? And because I studied poetry first, my whole thing is if I can get the message out there, they will get it. I hate those YouTube channels. I went through all of them. I went through all the books. For 10 years, I studied on changing mental states, and I had no idea the stuff I was studying is aligned with the Bible and Scripture. I had no idea. So when I found that out years ago, I was blown away. Zherka, so is it all about emotional control and correcting? I'm going to give you the greatest advice to changing your life you'll ever hear, but I promise you're going to forget unless you ever whip out a notebook right now. So Chad, here it is. What drives a human, right? Goodness. The Holy Spirit dwells within man. Now what does that mean? It means how humans walk around Earth in this matrix is they're pulled by images. There's an image in your head since you were born. It changes all the time, pulling you to do certain stuff. Okay? You know, if that image is Kodak Black, it's gonna pull you to do some host, right? If that image is Jim, probably Jim stuff, and it changes. A lot of men's image is a girl. Sometimes they know the girl, sometimes they don't, but it makes them get out of bed. They want a girl. Even if they have a girl, they have an image of a girl. It's very strange. This image is so connected to soul. It like yanks you around reality, right? It makes you do crazy stuff sometimes. All you have to do is be good at seeing the image. If the image is blurry, you're depressed. If the image is filled with color, you're very, very filled with energy. I'm not saying you're happy. You're filled with energy, which every energy is happiness. Trust me on that. You don't have to be happy. You just have to be energized, right? Now, if Rai focuses right now and says, my mom has a PhD, I have the brain for a PhD, what would it be like if I became a lawyer? I am a lawyer. She lingers in the feeling right now that she is a lawyer. She's gonna randomly get curious and go on Google and start looking at law firms and stuff. And it's just gonna keep, the image is gonna keep growing throughout the week. And then she's gonna read some books, and then she's gonna take a course, then she's gonna go to school. The more she lingers in the feeling of being a lawyer, she'll actually become a lawyer. The whole reality will change for her. The whole, it's just the state that has to change. Now, if she doesn't want to be a lawyer, it cannot happen. But if every time she imagines being a lawyer, she feels lovey-dovey, happy, filled with the Holy Spirit and joy, she goes for walks and just always, she's at the strip club twerking on, let's say, a Japanese old man, and she's just always in the fantasy of Rai is a lawyer. My mom did a PhD, I could do law, and she's always thinking of being a lawyer. She's always, that's her deepest thing. She bought her bed sheets to look like a law firm. She bought lights, and she's always lawyer. She talks to a guy on the street, and he's a lawyer, and her eyes light up, and law and order, and that feeling, when she lingers in it, she cannot be depressed. She's energized, and her reality is changing quickly. For some people, it's 7 days. For some people, it's 7 months, depending on how true they are to their faith that it'll happen. So if you have faith in God, you have faith in goodness. If you have faith in goodness, it means, yeah, I can be a lawyer. I am a lawyer. I just didn't pass the bar, but I am a lawyer. I already saw it in my head. I'm painting the image. I'm driving towards that image. I believe God will give me that. That's why God rewards atheists so much too. Nobody talks about this because Christians are the stupid people on earth. Christians are the geniuses, but 2024 Christians are because Christians don't talk about Floyd Mayweather, billions of dollars and blessed by God. How? Because he was faithful to the image of taking care of everyone and becoming the dad when his dad left him. He wanted that. He had faith in that image that is real, that he's the number one boxer on earth. That's why Floyd gets rewarded by God. You get it? That atheists get rewarded too. Yeah. There's even, I'm telling you guys, like, you're not getting it, bro. As soon as you understand this, you stop being bitter at God. Because have you guys ever been angry, like, oh, why does an atheist get blessed? And this guy, why does that atheist have a Ferrari? Because they're using their imagination correctly.
Why don't the wicked/elite get karma from their bloodthirsty actions? How do they reward it from it?
They don't have peace of mind. They're always anxious. They drink adrenochrome. They're always on edge. Someone's always trying to their wife or kill them. You understand? There's no such thing as being a billionaire without constantly being stressed, right? So there's a karmic punishment to that level of energy. Money is energy. If you're a billionaire, you're at the top of the energy game, right? So we don't know what their lives are like, but we know that they're cracked. A lot of them. Chat, I'm going to go deeper in the matrix. If you are fighting with your mom, let's say, you're angry at your mom, that's not relatable to me. Maybe dad, not even dad anymore. Like, I don't know. Yeah, we used to argue. Okay, let's say you're angry at your brother. Let's say you stopped talking to your brother for a long time. The moment you close your eyes and enter a meditative Christian state and imagine you and your brother laughing together, but not in the past, right now, in the clothes you're wearing right this second, you imagine your brother's right here laughing with you, it inspires miles away in his house. Your brother's just sleeping and he just wakes up like this, and then he calls you that day. It inspires change. You can forgiving with words doesn't work, bro. We've seen it like, I'm praying to God, it's not working. As soon as you can see the image and color of you and your brother laughing and you haven't talked to him for years, within that week, that month, he will wake up out of bed with the idea to call you. That's how this shit works. That's why you can inspire change and see good in everyone. When you're trying to see good in everyone you meet, you're trying to inspire change in them, right? So that's praying for someone. That's literally praying for someone. So I used to do that with Mike. Like, he had like 2 months, no alcohol, was doing great, but every single night, because I haven't seen him for a long time, I would inspire that change. I'd always go to bed thinking of us laughing together, and we're healthy. Then I stopped doing it. A couple of months passed. Stopped praying for people. I started getting busy, and my prayer, I started becoming a worse person. Come here, and a lot of, crazy activity. So what do? I have to go back to the rule book, right? When you pray for friends and family, it's through that imaginative state. It's not through just asking, right? It's actually very dangerous to ask God for shit without the step one would be you have it. You already have it, right? The prayer should be I already have it. I already have a healthy family.
Let's go, pal. I'm making a withdrawal here.
So, how do I stop intrusive negative thoughts like pulling out of the driveway randomly? Oh my. Intrusive thought loops and old demonic thoughts is because your image is weak. Floyd Mayweather had an image of being the best boxer. He held on to it. He added water, colored it every day. You reap what you sow, meaning what you plant in your unconscious, the operator will come manifest in the world of creations, because everything's created. You just tune into the right radio, the right lifestyle you want. You can tune into any. You can even experiment. That's the whole point. Now check this out. If your image is strong, negative thoughts are around the image, but they cannot penetrate it. If your image is gray and weak, the negative thoughts cloud your mind, and depression grabs you at the feet and sinks you, right? So